back to another episode of Dimitra's Dishes. Today I'm going to teach you how to make a delicious red lentil soup that's going to have zucchini and spinach in it. It's hearty, it's nutritious, and it's perfect to warm you up during a cold winter's day. And it's also a great way if you're trying to sneak in some vegetables to your family's diet. This is great because the vegetables are pureed after they're cooked and you won't even know they're there. There's so much flavor in this. Let's go over the ingredients so we can get started. So we have some olive oil, a small can of tomatoes that I've pureed, some black pepper, a pinch of crushed red pepper flakes, a bay leaf, some salt, water or vegetable stock, some spinach leaves, an onion, 3 zucchinis, and some red lentils that I have soaking in cold water. I just made sure to rinse them many times under cold water until the water ran clear. We're gonna begin by chopping up this onion. It doesn't have to be finely chopped because in the end it's going to be pureed. Add the onion to the pot with a 1/4 cup of olive oil and a little pinch of salt and cook it over medium heat until it's nice and soft. It's going to take about 8 to 10 minutes. While the onion is cooking, I'm going to go ahead and dice up the zucchini. I'm also going to grate the garlic, and I'm going to roughly chop this big batch of spinach. It's going to wilt down to nothing once it's cooked. Once the onions are nice and soft, go ahead and add the garlic and just warm it through a few seconds. Then immediately add the zucchini and the spinach with a little bit of salt and cook it over medium heat for about 5 to 6 minutes until it's nice and soft and tender. Then turn off the heat and transfer the vegetables to a blender. You can use the same blender that you pureed your tomatoes in if you're pureeing your tomatoes like I did. I don't like to wash extra dishes, so I try to use things as much as I can before they go into the sink to be washed. So go ahead and add a little bit of water, about a cup of water, to your vegetables and puree them until they're nice and smooth. So add the pureed vegetables back to the pot, but it is a good idea to take the pot off of the burner and off of the heat because pureed vegetables, once they hit a hot pot, it can sort of spit out back on you, and it's very hot. You do not want to get burned. Take it off the pot, put the puree back in there. Go ahead and add the lentils, the pureed tomatoes, salt, black pepper, and some red chili flakes if you like it a little tiny bit spicy. Go ahead and add the water and the broth. And you can rinse out the blender with the water and the broth before you add the water in there, so that way you don't waste anything that's left over, any tomato sauce that's left over in the bowl. Give everything a nice stir. Bring the mixture to a boil, then reduce the heat to a medium and then cover the pot. Make sure you continue to stir it every few minutes. It's going to take about 30 minutes for the lentils to cook and to be nice and tender. Once the lentils are tender, the food is ready. You can take it off of the heat. But while it's cooking, let me tell you that it might need a little bit more liquid because the lentils do like to soak up all of the liquid. So if it does look like it's starting to dry up, you can go ahead and add more water or more broth, and you're going to have to adjust the seasoning as needed. So once the lentils are nice and tender, take everything off the heat and give it a taste. And if it needs more salt and pepper, go ahead and add it at this time. So my soup is ready from start to finish. It takes less than an hour, probably 45 minutes, and you can have the whole thing on the table. I'm going to go ahead and give it a taste. I like to add a spoonful of yogurt, of Greek yogurt, to my bowl. But if you want to keep this completely vegan, then leave the dairy out of it. It tastes delicious as is. You could slice up some green scallions and put them on top, some parsley, cilantro, or if you want a little hit of heat, you could even finally slice some jalapenos and squeeze some lemon on it. That's going to take it to a whole other level. I'm going to go in and give it a taste. It's so good, so creamy. I really do like the yogurt, the hint of tang that the yogurt adds to this. If you're not keeping it vegan, then go ahead and give it a taste. Sour cream would be great too if you want it a little bit richer. However you decide to make it, make sure you make a big pot of this. It freezes beautifully, so you can put half of it, if you're not going to serve all of it, into freezer-safe containers, and it stays fresh in your freezer for up to 2 months. Perfect for those busy nights when you don't know what to cook. I love to have things like that in my freezer ready to be warmed up and served. Keep in mind that as this sits, it does continue to thicken, so you could always thin it out with a little bit of broth or water. Just season as you go, because the more liquid you add, it might need a little more seasoning. You can go on over to the website, www.dimitrasdishes.com, print this recipe out. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today. I'll see you all next time. Yes, us.